What up? It's voiceover hyper here. I'm trying something new for this because I think the parts in between the manifolds are quite boring, so I thought I might try doing a voiceover as I watch the footage back to make it more entertaining and maybe just talk a little bit about the map as well. I will stay silent for the manifolds though because I think those are entertaining to watch. So this video is coming out super late. I'm recording this voiceover on April 16th, and I cleared the overworld of the map on January 1st, and then I cleared, or I got FC on January 27th. So, like 3 months ago, almost. I just haven't had like any motivation to edit this. It's crazy how lazy I am, actually. Normally what happens is I edit my videos pretty quickly, and then I struggle with the thumbnail for a long time. Like, I'll just not have any ideas for a super long time, and I'm just waiting for an idea to come to me. Well, it was the opposite this time. I've had the thumbnail idea and also the description written for like a while now. I just couldn't bring myself to edit it for whatever reason. But it's like finally done, pretty much, as I'm recording this. I just need to watch through it all and make any changes that I want to last minute. This map is cool. You don't need me to tell you that though. It's just the best map that has ever been made, in my personal opinion. In my very, very informed opinion, coming from a person who clears almost nothing but hardless maps. Yep, I can confidently say this is the greatest map ever released. As we all know, the average quality of a hardless map is extremely high. It's got real competition up there. It is my new favorite map, though. Previously, it was Big Reveal, probably. But yeah, I like this map enough. I liked it enough to re-clear it before even finishing or really starting on editing the video. I also liked it enough to not do a bunch of the major cheese I found, instead opting for sending it to Smoothie to hopefully get it patched. There is more details about that at the end of the video, where I showcase cheese that I did in Transient Luminous events, which is the final of Manifold 5 Dashes 1, and on Madeline, which is Flag 1, final of Manifold 6. Both of those rooms have enough cheese, or had enough cheese to easily downgrade it at least a sub-tier. And I cleared TLE with the cheese before I knew it was cheese, and then I sent Smoothie my clear of it, and he was like, "That's not how you do that." And I was like, "Huh?" I'll save the details for after that. It looks like Manifold 1 is coming up here, so I'm gonna stay silent until after it's over. Enjoy. Nice. So, yeah, we're not gonna see another manifold for a while, by the way, because on my first playthrough, I found that flower and none others until I got to the top of the cliff, and I decided to just keep the video in like chronological order rather than splice those manifolds in. So the rest of the overworld happens now, and then I go back to get the rest of the flowers and stuff. What was I saying for that manifold? Something about cheese. Oh yeah, I cleared TLE with the cheese and then sent it to Smoothie, and then he told me it was cheese, so I re-cleared it, which I technically don't have to do that under HIST rules, but I wanted to. And then for F1, I didn't clear with my cheese, but I was ready to start doing attempts, and then I thought I should probably, like, I knew I was doing cheese in final, I just didn't know the extent of it. And so I sent Smoothie a clip and I said, "Does this smell like cheese to you?" And he was like, "Yep." And then patched that all. And then I found more cheese, and then he patched that. And then I found more cheese, and then he patched that. So, yeah, quite the experience on final. It is fun. It's fun being like playtester after playtesting. Details about the specific cheese that I found are at the end. Although not all the details. You'd have to read me and Smoothie's DMs for those. Yeah, so M2 is right up here, and I did not see that, or did not even think of going up there. I didn't even make the connection that the flower was why I found, or entered M1, by the way. Like, I went and got that flower for fun. I just felt like scaling that tower, and I thought it was just an Easter egg. And then I encountered the first manifold, and I assumed it was a linear thing. Like, I thought that was just what was supposed to happen. I didn't notice the seamless transition or anything like that. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned it already, but this is fully self-routed and with no video. I think, like, my overworld clear, I believe I did before Bismuth published their video, and then they published it, like, partway through clearing the manifolds, but I wanted to stay video-less as long as I could. I didn't think I would actually be able to get through the whole thing without getting route help at some point, but I did, which I was pretty proud of. It's definitely my coolest, like, I like, for specific maps, I like doing them, like, self-routing them. I used to do it for basically every map. I don't really do that anymore. Like, Periwinkle, I did not self-route Periwinkle. You couldn't have paid me, like, any amount of money to self-route Periwinkle. But for maps I truly like this one, I make an effort to give it my best shot before pulling up the video. And I made it all the way, which is cool. Made it all the way with my scuffed as fuck routes. I'm not sure if I'll be attentive enough during this voiceover to point them out when they show up, but there's like a couple major things I did in the overworld, like sort of sequence breaks, which I think Smoothie said he knew were possible and decided to not patch them out because they're hard as fuck. So not like anything truly groundbreaking, but I did do some stuff that, like, it's crazy that I thought it was intended. I really did not know. I did not realize that I was taking the wrong route when I did it in the overworld. I'll try and point out the one spot. I go, like, up through the ceiling at one point to get out of irrigation, I think? I don't know. And then in the manifolds as well, you're gonna see so much shit. so much weird routing, most of which is bad, but some of which is good. Honestly, I think what I usually do is, for anything relatively easy for me, like low GN+1 stuff, I typically my self-route ends up with a worse product than intended, but I think I'm pretty good at finding optimal strats for the harder stuff, like transient luminous events, I managed to find. I mentioned I had cheese that I got patched. I feel like I typically manage to find cheese where it exists in the really hard stuff. And so I think like my clear of F1 in particular is probably the easiest clear out of anyone. Ha, dumbass got stuck. Show hitboxes! Ban from Heartless! I think my clear of Final is probably the easiest out of anyone who's cleared Final. At least anyone who I've watched. In particular because I never had to do any of the, or I always made it so that I didn't have to do that one move where you neutral and then you do a horizontal corner boost, and the neutral is to get you plus 40. The one that's taught to you in Manifold 3, and it's like use a bunch in Vault. Pretty much every single one of those in this map is skippable. You really don't have to do any of them. And it often only loses like a couple frames to not do them. Like the first one that you do in M6 Final, you can just not do by doing a failed hyper so that you get a full jump and just moving to the right a little bit to get away from the wall instead of doing a neutral. And you do the same thing in Vault. You just don't do the hyper and then just like move a little bit instead of neutraling. It's really easy to avoid having to do that because that move is so crazy input dense. I don't get how so many people actually do it, or like I don't get how so many people do that intended instead of cheesing them in the like number of different ways you can cheese them throughout the map. So I feel like people overrate Final a little bit, potentially because of that, and like Vault, you know, in addition to other reasons for overrating it, which I wrote a bit about in my description. I have some opinions about this map's difficulty, but I don't want to express those in the voiceover. I left them in the description. I don't think we've hit the part where I skip a whole bunch of stuff yet. It's not even a huge skip. But I think it might be coming up soon. This is around where M3 is, I think. Oh god. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I forgot I did that. That was like so fucking hard. And I don't even remember exactly what I did or exactly what intended is. I just remember that what I did there was just like probably like harder than anything in the map that is intended. Just stupid. Very, very stupid routing. I'm sure there's been more instances of that already, and there are more instances of it to come. But it's hard to notice all of them. Oh, it's coming up here. It's in this room. I went through the next room, I guess, because of the death warp. Not the death warp. Yeah, it's in this room. I go up through the top here instead of going to the right. I didn't even, I don't know, it's like a frame perfect or two. It was pretty hard, but I didn't realize that it wasn't intended. And I just, you know, go up here. I think oh yeah, also this move, it looks like I didn't do it here. Or yeah, I must have, I had to go back up. That move with the one tile overhang, I did figure that out and do it like a lot of times before you're actually supposed to. Did I spike climb this? I did. I don't remember what the route is, but I know you're not supposed to spike climb that. There's another spike climb I do somewhere. I think it's after this. Yeah, because you're supposed to go like down diagonal here, and I believe I just went straight to the right, and then there's a spike climb you can do instead of the bottom path. Yeah, here it comes. This spike climb is kind of hard. I think the timer jumped like 15 minutes or something. I don't know. And I think we're on to cliff now. By the way, I'm using the voiceover recording kind of thingy in Premiere Pro, and I'm watching like the display, but it's so unwatchable because my Premiere Pro just cannot handle the display when there's crossfades. So every single time a clip crossfades into another clip, the whole thing goes like -1 FPS. It's so bad, and sometimes it takes so long to recover. It doesn't like recover immediately after the crossfade. It stays like that for a few seconds, and sometimes it chains, and I never get to like watch it when it's not a slideshow. So it's a bit hard to actually provide commentary on specific things that are happening in the run because you can't really see most of it. There, I did it again. I think I do it a bunch up here. Like right here. I couldn't see it because a crossfade happened, which completely froze my Premiere Pro, but I'm pretty sure I did the one tile overhang again. There. Yep. Yep. Yes, sir. Cheese, quote unquote. I really liked routing with these extended variants. It was super fun. I hear that it's what turned most people off from the map initially, but I thought it was fucking awesome, and all of those people are haters. Oh yeah, something insane is about to happen. I had some text explaining it in a second, which I might remove because I'm doing the voiceover, or I might leave it. So I didn't know where to go, so I went in that direction. I thought that I was, you know what? Okay, so yeah, when I got up there, at first, I thought the camera was telling me that I needed to jump to the left. I was like so certain that it was trying to guide me towards the left to do like a huge water boost. And so I did that, and then I perfectly hit the manifold 4 flower, which after I hit that flower, I thought about the previous flower that I hit, and I was like, oh, it's another Easter egg. And what I thought was that the way to get that flower was to water boost, and I thought it was like scripted momentum or something like that. Like, if you have enough speed, then you hit a trigger and it sets your speed and makes you perfectly land on the flower, and that's like how you get to that flower. And so I loaded my state to undo that, because I was like, okay, so there's an Easter egg in this map with all the flowers. I'm gonna probably try and clear it normally, and then I'll figure out what's up with the flowers afterwards. So I loaded my state and went back to before I did that water boost. And I just had no idea that the flower was connected to the manifold, and that was how I was supposed to get into the manifolds. Because as I mentioned, I went into this blind. I didn't know. I knew there were speedrun-esque sections, but I didn't know how to get to them. So, yeah, I just finished the rest of Cliff without figuring that out, and then it was after. So I didn't let myself debug at all during the overworld clear, and it was only after I cleared overworld that I decided to debug around and just figure out how to get the FC. And so I realized a while later what actually happened with the water, which was just that I somehow had the perfect speed to land there, just by some miracle. And I sent that to Smoothie, and it's quite funny. All that just to do another one tile overhang. Oh yeah, there's some really, really easy cheese in this room, where you can just like corner jump on the right side of that very first spike, the one that's raised a little bit above the floor. And I knew about that, and I think I sent it to Smoothie, but I don't think he felt like patching it. I didn't want to use it, so I didn't. What I did instead there was like wicked hard. Oh, right. Here's another thing that I didn't do good. You'll see, but I do a DCB here on the bottom instead of a wall this. It's so difficult. So difficult for no reason. I love this section. It's so fun. And now the darkness approaches. Oh yeah, get one more in there for good measure. Yeah. Or two more. I was kind of annoyed, so I jump off into the nothingness, of course, and then I was kind of annoyed that it just ended the map, because I wanted my timer, I like my timer to be complete, you know? So I'm about to jump into the void, and then I believe I don't, or I returned to map a couple times after that for the other, or once more after that for the backtrack ending, and then I think I keep my timer going for the whole map after that. So it's like 25-hour clear, and my timer is like 20 hours and a half or something like that when I actually get the heart. Not quite the full clear time, but almost. I love hitting those. The premiere preview is so dark that I legit can't see anything other than like my flower crown and the particles. I don't know why. The premiere preview is just not very good at viewing this. I know that it will look better on YouTube because of export part of it as a test. But I myself cannot see it while editing unless I put contrast on it. And then you finally have to do this move intended. And I'm like, I'm so good at these. I can see the flower. There we go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Madeline. Oh, 3:33:34. So close. I actually didn't notice that until now. You jumped. Nice. And that is regular to clear. Regular to clear plus manifold 1. Not sure what I started with here. Don't remember if I did the backtrack and then got the flowers, or I think that's what happened, yeah. So now the whole backtrack happens, and I still don't get any flowers until after the backtrack. Right, I'm pretty sure I, because of that arrow, I believe at this point I still hadn't opened the debug map. I still thought there was, like, easy progress to be made without having to resort to, like, cheating, essentially. So I'm doing the whole backtrack now, and then I'm going to get the third ending, the one where it says you're missing something, and then that's when I start figuring stuff out with the flowers. Don't remember if I did anything particularly cooked in the backtrack. Definitely a lot of stuff that was harder than it needed to be, but I don't think there's anything as egregious as like that one spike climb. Going down this cliff fast is so fun. I wonder how far a task could get if you tasked a speed chain from the cliff. Like if you could make it all the way to the car or some shit like that. Actually, no. You'd be stopped by because there aren't transition rooms everywhere up here, so you'd get stopped by the wall. But like if you didn't get stopped by the wall, I wonder if you can make it all the way to the car. Not stopped by the wall, stopped by the border of the rooms. I don't know why I just... Like, I have climb jump buttons. I should just be using my climb jump for regular jump because I keep wall jumping away on accident. And then occasionally I'll be like, oh yeah, I to avoid wall jumping, I'll just use climb jumps all the time. But I always switch back to doing regular jumps on the ground. It's just what feels natural. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's intended. That two-tile overhang. I'm pretty sure that wasn't intended. I don't think it wasn't that hard either, but, yeah. Sure if you have to do that one tile overhang, but it's fine because they're free. Good try. I was trying to get through that tunnel while keeping, or not bunking my head at the end. Been thinking about doing voiceovers for like a little while now, especially for like quote-unquote easier hardless maps, like ones that I don't know, because you guys are weird for watching my videos. I don't know, I don't like watching clears even of hard maps. Like I'll watch the clear of the hardest room of a new hard map, but you know, I don't know how anyone sits through these. So I was thinking, like, what I personally would like in clears. I really liked Dan's commentary of Dashless Plus. That's part of what gave me the idea. That was really, really entertaining to listen to. his commentary, or their, I'm not sure, their commentary was certainly a lot more informative than my commentary is right now of Geodesic. And that's, that's partially because this map is definitely hard to remember a lot of stuff for, and also because this clear was 3 months ago. But I think it might go better if I do it on, like, other easier maps, which I can clear in like a day or two, and then make a commentary on it afterwards. Call of Duty commentary. The issue is, like, I do have a bunch of other unuploaded stuff right now. Like, I think in the backlog right now is, well, this map as of right now, and then Derelict is a yellow +1, in my opinion, map by Paz. It's the example map for buffer contest. It's really fucking hard. I cleared that February 17th, but I have been stopped by Geodesic. Like, I don't like uploading clears out of order, really. So that's been in the backlog just because I have to get this done. And then 5 gram, I cleared that because I thought it might be hissed, or because it went on pending. I don't think it's hissed, but I still want to upload it to the second channel, probably. And then Lost in Cave, new Lost in Cave, I cleared that March 24th, and that's super hissed. I want to place that in high 2-star once I make my video of it, but I just need to lock in. Anyway, all of those are like, oh, and then Periwinkle. I cleared Periwinkle on April 5th. That took 3 sessions, I think. But I'll save the details of that for potentially a voiceover on that map. I don't know. I say I'm gonna do a lot of stuff, and I don't do a lot of stuff. So, who knows if that'll actually happen for any of those maps. Towards the end here. If you want more voiceover content, you should go look at my personal channel, the one that isn't about Celeste, where I post other stuff, other random stuff. Like, I posted my Lethal Company world record VODs there, and also a compilation of clips. And I'm also gonna post the recording of level 20 in Repo from my solo glitchless run, because level 20 in that game is like common. I don't know, it's just a cool thing to go for. And so I went for that, and it took like 30 hours or 60 hours, depending on how you interpret it. And then I upload that, or will upload that, and I added a voiceover after that. Doing that voiceover is actually what gave me the idea to do this voiceover. Or at least, not what gave me the idea, but what made me finally decide to do it, because I like how that one turned out. Where I was just talking about my experience with Repo, and why I started playing it, and what I knew about it, and stuff like that. Still wall jumping. It's just every single fucking wall that you could jump off, I am jumping off of. Just climb jump, little bro. It's clear it'd be like 15 minutes faster if I... Oh, there's another... Dude! Just fucking climb jump. Nice. Backtrack completed. Ending 3. You seem to be missing something. And here is the start of manifold 2. Or, well, not the start of it. Here's me getting to the flower. And that's how the rest of the video is going to go. I cut to the beginning of entering the flower, and then I get the flower, and then go from there. I like Manifold 2 a lot. Well, I like Playground a lot. The rest of it I don't remember, really. But Playground is so good. Oh yeah, that clip there was a re-record, just because of the way I played this. I didn't have like a smooth transition into going to the right. If you ever see the timer just disappear, it's most likely because I had to re-record a segment to like Frankenstein together a smooth transition. Anyway, here comes Manifold 2, so I'm going to shut up for a bit. A little too far. Oh, a little too far again. Such a good room. You might notice there in, like, I think rooms 1 and 3 I did some crazy shit. Doesn't get any better. Entering M3 here. It took me a while to figure out that that you could carry that wall boost, or the overclock, to the other side by buffering jumps to the water. It took me so long to figure that out. I got pretty stuck at Vault. Or not really. I just didn't have... I couldn't play it for a long time at once. I kept having like 20-minute sessions. I think it either took me an hour and a half or 2.5 hours to clear, but it was across like 5 or 6 sessions or something crazy. It was difficult to route. It was definitely like one of the more difficult rooms for me to route. But I think my route for it is good. Aside from something at the start that there was something better for, I think my route for it is pretty good because, as I mentioned before, I skipped a bunch of those neutral into plus 40 corner boost things, and I skipped the first one in Vault, and I haven't really... I don't think I've seen anyone else skip it, and I don't know why. I already said this, though. Very nice. If you didn't notice, it took me 40 minutes to figure out the move in the first room of that manifold, the one with the conveyor belt going up. That's definitely the most stuck I got anywhere on this map was that room. I was so close to needing help on it, and then I don't know, I just found it eventually. Figured it out. I figured out that you could, like I figured out the part before the neutral, a while before I figured out that the neutral is how you get plus 40. So I was getting the lift boosted corner boost, but just not making it, and it took me so long to realize that I could give myself plus 40 with the neutral. I don't know which manifold is my favorite, but hallway in manifold 4 is definitely one of my favorite rooms, alongside flag 1. Nice. Yeah, it has some pretty significant cheese at the end of hallway there. Not the very, very end where I do the insta-hyper to the right, but the part where I do the up dash to get the coin is pretty good, I think. Super cooked routing in like rooms 1 and 2. You used to, in room 2, or I don't know if it was room 2. I'm going to talk even though the manifold is starting, because I got some stuff to say about manifold 4. The one room where you have to do the C-pop for the first time, you used to be able to get the coins out of order, and it was the only way I could figure out how to route it at first. And it was only after I did hallway, or after I did clutter site, that I realized the setup, and then I went back and cleared it intended, because Smoothie patched out the getting the coins out of order. What he said that it was the only room that he didn't check that for, which is crazy, because I was stuck there without it. I love vertebrae. Vertebrate? I don't remember. It's such a good room. And then TLE, I have like a love-hate relationship with TLE, not gonna lie. I've re-cleared it like 3 times or twice, just to see if I can try and get it like a little bit more consistent. It just doesn't. It's like, it's so stubborn. And every single time it doesn't feel great. Like I'm so mind blocked on the ending always. It feels like total RNG. But I think that's beautiful in a way that you can create something like that. There's no more overworld after this, which means goodbye forever, voiceover. I hope you guys enjoyed my yapping, and here is M6.